You're listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of ABK Media Group, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County every day at 9 a.m. Southern living at its best.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Good Morning Gwinnett. I'm your host, Audrey Bell Kearney, today. Excited to be here with you as every day. I'm excited to have a great guest on today. His name is Mr. Michael Fischer. He is the VP of Marketing and Sales for Improve, which is a very new concept coming to the United States. Hailing out of Canada, and we're going to be talking to him more about what Improve is and how you can get involved with Improve. I had an opportunity to sit and talk with him yesterday, and glad he's on the show with us this morning. But before we kick off with Michael, I want to talk about my People Helping People segment. People Helping People. So what is People Helping People? I talk about this on the show. It is a shout out to nonprofits who are doing great things in our community, helping people who need help. These people work tirelessly to help people who are struggling in so many areas of their life. So I like to be able to shout them out and talk about some of the great things that they're doing. So today my shout out goes out to Parkwood Farms for my People Helping People section. Parkwood Farms is a therapy center for people who have disabilities. And what they do is they get the opportunity to go there and ride horses. Now, here's something funny that a lot of people don't know about me. I love horses. I don't know why. Maybe in my last life I had like a horse farm or something, or I was I rode horses or something. I have no idea why. I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, so there were no horses there. So I don't know why I love horses, but Parkwood Farms is a place located right here in Gwinnett County, Snellville, Georgia. And what it does is it uses horse therapy as a way to help children and adults who are special needs, who are dealing with different special needs like Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, autism, learning disabilities. And I think that's so cool because horses are such beautiful animals. And so to be able to use that as a part of the therapy, I think it's great. So listen, if you want to support, you can sponsor a horse or you can sponsor a person, and you can do that by going to parkwoodfarms.org or either calling them at 678-344-6821 and show some support for them. They are doing some great things here in Snellville, Georgia, which is right in Gwinnett County. And there's people have all kind of disabilities. And I think another thing too, it's also a place for you to take your team if you just want to do some team bonding. We work a lot, we work hard, we stress out a lot, and sometimes you just need to come down for a second. So not only is it therapeutic for people with learning disabilities and special needs, but you can also use it as a way to get your team out there outside in fresh air and kind of bond with the horses, I say. And do some team building. So check them out, parkwoodfarms.org. Telephone number 678-344-6821. Okay, if you're looking for something to do, the Atlanta Gladiators is playing tonight. Now listen to the name of the team they're playing. The name of the team that the Atlanta Gladiators is playing tonight is called the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. I don't know where they got that name from. That is a funny name. But they're playing tonight at the Infinite Center, Duluth, Georgia, 6400 Sugarloaf Parkway, 735. Check them out. You want something to do, it's always nice to take the family out for some fun things just to enjoy. Now, if you're not into sports, but you're into the theater, go over to the Aurora Theater and check out The Wonderful Life, 128 West Park Street here in Lawrenceville. They have a showing tonight, so check them out. Go to the website and see what time the show actually starts. The show is called The Wonderful Life. So take the family out and do some activities tonight. So without further ado, I wanted to bring on Michael Fischer, who is the VP of Sales and Marketing for Improve, a company which started out of Atlanta. What's exciting about this company is that it is going to be a super mall for the home design industry. I think I'm saying that right. And I had the opportunity to see the layout of what the mall looks like. Now, there is one already in Canada, and I'm going to let Michael tell you more about the whole concept and how it got started and how you can get involved if you are a home designer, interior designer, if you make cabinets, if you sell granite tops, if you design kitchens. He's going to tell you how to get involved with that. And it's a very cool concept, one I haven't heard before. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Michael.
Good morning, Audrey. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being my guest this morning. I know you're a busy man, so I appreciate you taking the time to be on with us this morning. So now tell us a little bit about Improve. I know you started out in Canada. Tell us about that concept and how it all came about in Canada.
My pleasure. Our owner, Oleg Schuster, was renovating his home back in Toronto, and he was running around the city of Toronto for approximately 3 to 6 months, trying to find kitchens, countertops, lighting, paints, tiling, whatever it is you can think about renovating his home. And at one point, he just got so frustrated. He says, "Why can't we have something under one roof?" And that's how this concept really started. He started talking to a few people, started talking to some of his friends, and lo and behold, they came up with an idea, and the name of Improve came up. And then he had an architectural design team from Montreal, Quebec, in Canada, come up with a structure for him that they thought would be right. He didn't like it, but they basically told him, "Look, we are in the business of designing malls. This is going to work." So he listened to them, and then he started putting the project together. A couple of years into it, and then he bought a parcel of land in Toronto, about 21 acres of land, and he started building. And as he was building, he got people to come into the program, and he was basically selling these not as lease units, but as a condo unit. And from there, he basically got contractors, distributors, manufacturers involved, and then the mall just started evolving. And the beautiful part about it today is anybody going into that mall looking to renovate their home, anywhere from kitchens to bathrooms to flooring to roofing to patios to swimming pools, they don't have to run around any city or the city of Toronto specifically. And so what happens is people just come there and do what they need to do. There are approximately 370 partners that we call that have businesses there, and they serve the Greater Toronto area.
So now you said something that was pretty interesting. I've never heard of this concept before, because most of the time when you think of retail spaces, you always think of lease spaces. When you think of having a store inside of a mall, you know that you're going to go in there, you're going to sign a 5-year lease or a 10-year lease or whatever it may be. You said that they're actually going to be condos that the store owner actually owns. Talk to me a little bit about that concept and how that works.
Well, I'll explain that to you. Basically, what we've decided is instead of having like a flea market type atmosphere, we decided to take what's called a home ownership type pride into the program. Meaning, when people take ownership of a property, they'll try to make that property the best they can and keep it for themselves long term. The best part about this is in the Toronto market, as well as in the Atlanta market, we've set standards and parameters of what these units need to look like. So people understand what it is. It is basically a permanent home show. So instead of you going to a home show in Atlanta or anywhere else, where people come and go, they're there for 3 or 4 days, you pay for parking, you pay for admission. The parking is free with us, the admission is free, and the best part is that if you forgot something or you wanted to go back to one of these vendors and to look at the property again or the product again, you can do that, and you can go back anytime you want. That's the beauty. So we decided that we wanted to do something permanent. And by having ownership of the units themselves brings pride. And so therefore, you can have a good, better, best situation where, you can have a good-looking product look the best there is. So you don't necessarily have to think, oh, my God, I can't afford this and I can't afford that, or that looks cheap or that looks too expensive. It's really for all facets of the industry. So if somebody wanted to have a great-looking kitchen but can't afford to pay $100,000, let's say, for a kitchen, and they wanted only to spend $10,000 and make it look like $100,000, you can do that because there's enough kitchen people or enough countertop people or enough experts in the mall that you can basically shop around and get what you're looking for. So going back to ownership, we decided that we wanted to have ownership because it becomes pride.
That is a great concept, and that is so true. When people get stuff for free or they pay a little bit of money, they tend not to love it as much. But when you own your home or own your car, you take pride in that, and that's absolutely the truth. Now, what is the process for? Because we are in Metro Atlanta. There are like 7 million people here, and a lot of home building going on, and a lot of decorating and things like that. If let's say a countertop guy wanted to buy a condo inside of the mall, what process does he go through? The regular home buying process, as if he was buying a home? Is it a different process? What's the process?
No, pretty much what you just said. It basically becomes where he comes in, we'd work out a deal for him. He picks a unit that he wants to be in, and it's no different than him buying a condo unit, an apartment building, or a house for that matter. It's a true real estate transaction on a commercial side. And we basically go through the process, pick and choose what he needs, comes up with a down payment. We're looking for 20% down. The balance on closing, which will probably be around the end of 2021. And we do a lot of things for condo owners. Mainly what it comes down to is most businesses run into, doesn't matter if it's small or big, but they run into a problem of generating leads, generating sales coming in. Any business is always thriving for sales and to come through their doors. So most smaller companies, what they do is they basically, let's say somebody is in the countertop business, as you said, basically they'll target people in their community. So therefore, if there's 100,000 or 200,000 people and he's advertising, she's advertising in that neighborhood, that's all they're really attacking. So they're not really going after, as you said, 7 million people in the greater Atlanta area. The difference is that we have built in a $2 million budget for advertising yearly forever, and may go up at that point, but that's a $2 million as we start talking today. And what we do is we basically go after the greater Atlanta area through media, through social media, through digital, through newspapers, magazines. So we are doing all the advertising for these people. The best part about it is that there will be a committee for the advertising, and there'll be a condo association as well. So people will always have traffic coming through, and we anticipate good traffic to come in. Even if you think of it on a day-to-day basis, that a small business or medium or large business, they have a hard time tracking how people walk through their door. Is it through radio? Is it through television? Is it through newspaper? Is it passed through, driving by in front of the building and saying, let's make a U-turn and go in? Is it word of mouth? Most businesses really have a tough time figuring out how they get the leads. We're here, we eliminate that process. We are just going to be a super mall. We're going to do mass advertising just the way every other mall is, to generate people and people flow to come through and to generate sales for the owners of the business. Here's just something for you to think about. There's 429 units. This building's 418,000 square feet. So there will be some people who are buying multiple units. So let's say, just for the sake of argument, we have approximately 350 partners that we call are going to be in the mall. If we take 3 people that they generate per day coming in, however those people come in, that's close to 1,000 people. That doesn't include people just walking off the street. So we anticipate on a day-to-day being super, super conservative, between 1,000 and 1,500 people walking through the doors every single day. That is 1,000 to 1,500 potential clients to every single owner in this building. On weekends, of course, we'll see quite a bit more because it's the weekend and people come in with their families, and of course this building will be very family orientated. I'm going to give you some highlights in a second, but when your family comes in and you walk through the door, you'll understand exactly why you're there, and by the time you're coming into the door, you're trying to figure out what you want to do, and from the time that you leave, you'll get to know exactly what you want to do. You'll know exactly who you want to talk to or who you want to have to come into your home and give you an estimate and maybe try to do a deal with them. So that's the beautiful part about this mall, is that the fact that we have eliminated going after the leads in your area. We're basically now targeting all of Atlanta. So instead of targeting 100,000 people, we're going after 7 million. So you can see how your sales will be driven up dramatically. So people who do come into the mall and become partners with us will definitely benefit from the mass marketing that we do. That also doesn't take away that if they wanted to do some advertising for themselves, here it becomes a domino effect, because if they do some advertising for themselves and they put improv at the bottom, and they can have, people coming through, well, guess what? The other 349 partners will benefit from you advertising as well. So by doing all these things, and multiple people will do, multiple advertising in certain target markets that they want to do, that will also drive people through the mall. There's only one way that this thing is going to do. It's going to go straight up, because people will have a one-stop shop. They don't have to crisscross Greater Atlanta, and they could find everything they want under one roof. We've also, as I said to you, made it very family-orientated. We will have a nursery for kids if they want to have. We have like a gymboree. We'll have 8 restaurants. We'll have offices here as well that will have anywhere from a 10 by 10 little office room to a boardroom that can hold 30 people. And we're also building an auditorium for up to 256 people with audiovisual and all types of other media stuff that needs to be driven for that amount of people. So truly, Improve USA in Atlanta has become and will become a one-stop shop for the people of Atlanta and for all the renovations needs.
I wanted to go back to something you said earlier, because I thought it was pretty key. So now you have like 350 partners that potentially could be in the mall, and I know you guys are running an aggressive marketing campaign and advertising campaign. But here's my question. For the small business owner who has a condo inside of the mall and they want to run a special for just their spot, I know if they put Improve at the bottom, that kind of helps out everybody else. But what if they don't have a team to help them put that ad together? Will your team help them put that ad together if they pay for that?
Absolutely. When we advertise, because we've got a $2 million budget, we can commit ourselves for 2, 3, 5 years down the line. What we do is, with the people that we work with in our agreement, is that if one of our members and partners wanted to do some individual advertising, they must get the same type of pricing as that we get. Otherwise, we would not do business with them. So that's in our agreement. So out of the 350 partners, if they, like you said, wanted to do an advertisement on their own, absolutely, they'll get our pricing. And the difference is that if a small business owner or medium business owner does a small media or newspaper ad, they pay thousands of dollars, where we can basically cut that to half or less. So we do have a bit of an advantage that way, because we're able to commit long term and knowing that we have the funding to do it as well. So it becomes a win-win situation.
That is so cool. I think that, because a lot of times that's one of the biggest problems that small business owners face. One, they can't track all the leads where they're coming from, because they just don't have the manpower, because they either a one person show or a 2 people show. So it stretches them in so many ways. So the fact that they can say, hey, what are the analytics like? How is our ad doing? I think that's so cool. And the fact that they can get discount on advertising and marketing is also great, because that's another big hurdle that they don't have to really worry about because of their partnership with Improve. So that's great. Now,
that is correct.
What I know you guys have probably done this. What type of impact is this going to have on the communities, the surrounding communities, as far as economic development impact?
That I don't know. I don't have the exact numbers, but I can say one thing. From the people that I've spoken to, and our salespeople, and the people I've gone out to meet, and dealing with all the different chambers of commerce and the different associations that we've joined as well, I can tell you one thing. Everybody's excited. I think in the area here, in the Dorville area that we're in, where the building's going to be, I think it's going to have a tremendous impact for years and years to come. I think you'll see a lot of redevelopment coming through. I think you'll see this becoming a hub for a lot of people to come in to do things. And I see restaurants being built. I see housing being built. I see a lot of different programs and a lot of different industries coming in here. And I see within the next 3 to 5 years, this area that we're in on Gwinnett, I can tell you, I think you're going to see a 360-degree turnaround in the economy around here. I think you're going to see improvement to the sites themselves, buildings. I think you'll see a lot of redevelopment coming through as developers look at the area and they'll monitor what we've done. And I think you're going to see that. I think I think it's an exciting time for the city of Atlanta. I think it's even a greater exciting time for the county of Gwinnett. And I think this is going to be a huge opportunity for a lot of people to get involved and to be here for many, many years and to be prosperous.
You said earlier, there are 429 spaces. However, there are only 8 restaurant spaces. So you did some really big numbers. Right. Thousands and thousands of people are going to be visiting the mall.
Right.
And only 8 restaurant locations. That has got to be extremely competitive. So how is that process going for people who have a food product that wants to be in the food court?
Well, we have 8. Actually, we have 9 locations. One location is at the bottom as you're coming into the mall, which is a large unit. It's a 7,000 square foot space that we're trying to get a sit-down type restaurant in there where people can come and enjoy their meals and have a drink and just relax, even after hours. Upstairs will be the 8 restaurants. We're going to have, even though it's going to be competitive, people can come in there. In fact, we just got involved with the company that was basically a mom and daughter cookie operation that started approximately 9.5 years ago, and they've taken a spot here. They're actually one of the first to take a spot, and we're excited for them because I think being a local business and being the type of operations that they have, I think it's going to be a great value to our mall. Also, I think other people, we've got other large corporations that I can't mention at this point, are looking at facilities in our building to bring in. So I think having 8 restaurants may be somewhat limited, but I think it's an exciting time, and we can always add more if needed. But I think at this point that should be able to service all the people there. It'll be a terrific opportunity for restaurateurs wanting to come in.
I say so because when I think about the sheer fact that there are 429 spaces there, and out of that is 8, and then you have people that's going to be there all day long. And I saw the area. There are not restaurants around, so you got people that work in some of those buildings that will come there just to eat at the restaurant, so I think that's going to be huge for the restaurateur who has a spot inside of the mall. So I think that's great. Now, do you have certain restaurants that you want to be in the mall, and are there like limits to say, we don't want this type of restaurant here, or we don't want that type, or we want this type? Is there like a certain type, or is it open to anybody who can afford to buy the condo inside of the facility?
Basically, you said it right. It's anybody who can afford to come in here. We're not putting any limitations whatsoever. We can go from fried chicken to cookies to bagels and cream cheese to a Starbucks. It doesn't matter. I mean, whoever wants to be part of it is going to be part of it for a long time. And I because there's only 8 spaces left, and as you said, there's going to be a tremendous amount of traffic coming through. It's only going to make these units and these restaurateurs very, very successful.
Very, very successful. I love to hear that. Very, very successful. That is great. Right. My husband asked me a question yesterday when I told him, because I was so excited when I left. I was telling him, I said, "Listen, you gotta check out this new home design store mall coming to our area." And I was telling him what it is, and he said to me, "Well, what happens to like a Home Depot or either the store that's called At Home?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. So I will ask Michael tomorrow." When you have stores like At Home and Home Depot, how will the mall affect those stores at all, or is that just going to be like a companion or something?
I don't think personally it'll affect them. It may even enhance what they do, because what happens is when people are renovating, Home Depot and Lowe's and At Home and those type of Ace Hardwares as we know them, those are the people that they will go into and compare shops. So, and they may come here and they may go to Home Depot or whatever and compare shop and see what the pricing is. The big advantage of anybody that's in our building at Improve USA is that they'll actually get somebody with knowledge to talk about the product that they need, the service that they need, and not taking anything away from Home Depot or people like them. Is that people may buy the product from Home Depot but may have the contractors here or one of their partners go in and do the installation. So really, I don't see it being harmful to any one of these big box stores. On the contrary, it may enhance their business because, the contractors have the people buy the product and they'll do the installation. So, or complete job. So I really don't see it as a negative at this point.
That's cool, and I think that's going to be good for because a lot of people get intimidated when they see something. One, they get intimidated by change. A lot of us get excited, but some people get intimidated by change. The other thing too, they want to fight you because they feel like you're going to come in and knock out, Home Depot and at home, and really it's an enhancement because not everybody's going to come there and get a designer kitchen. They still going to want to go and do it themselves and go to, Home Depot and Lowe's and those guys. So that's great. Moving forward, do you see improve rolling out in other cities in the United States, or do you see that coming down the pike?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. We're actually right now in negotiations in 2 cities. One is in New Jersey. We're looking at 21 to 22 acres of land of what we need. When we're also talking to somebody in Dallas, that's the next one that we want to go to. And so we're looking at properties in both locations. So we are definitely going to be expanding in the U.S. in the years to come. Atlanta as our first project here in the U.S., and we look to hopefully have New Jersey online within the next 18 months to 24 months from now.
Now, where in New Jersey? I'm from Jersey. Where in New Jersey are you going to build?
If I can tell you, I would tell. If I knew, I would tell you. Right now, I don't know. Everything's kind of hush-hush with the owners.
Okay.
The minute I find out, I promise you'll be one of the first to know with regards to this. Not a problem.
Okay, cool. I have a friend there. He's a developer. He's actually building, and he probably would love this. He's actually building a oh my God, I think it's a 5-story condo in Orange, New Jersey. And
wow,
yeah, it's really cool. He's been working on it for 2 years now. He actually breaks ground in March, so that's exciting too. But once you do know, let me know, and I'll let him know because you guys maybe can hook up and do some things. He does a lot of great things in Jersey. We've been friends since we were in high school, so he's actually my brother's best friend. So let me know, and I'll let him know.
Perfect. Audrey, I also wanted to mention to you, and I forgot to bring this up. You were asking me about the community and the growth of the community. One thing that we're going to be providing here that's very unique to any mall is we've built about a 10,000 square foot space called an event center. And it's basically a stage that's smack in the middle of the mall. And what we've done with that is we are encouraging any type of community work or people that would want to promote themselves anyhow that would also bring traffic into our mall. Just to give you an example, if we had a Mexican Fiesta night, if we had like a Chinese New Year's, or we wanted to have a karate expert, or we wanted to have a home improvement guy talking about flipping homes or real estate, or an attorney talking about taxes, we have this event, and it's free to the community. The only thing that we do is we charge about $1,000 for cleanup, and that's it. So just imagine anybody like yourself, if you want even to have your radio show here at Improve on the weekends, okay, you can basically broadcast your show for free, and people can talk to you, and you can talk to them, and it's just to help the community get awareness and also to bring the community together. I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Well, thank you so much for bringing that to my attention because I'm actually planning a summit. So that is great, and that would be nice to kick my summit off at Improve. So we will talk more about that offline. I am in media, perfect. So off at Facets of Media. So I am looking to do a not a conference because it won't be a 2-day or 3-day. It'll be a 1-day summit. So I definitely will be talking to you about that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Perfect. Listen, guys. That place is going to be beautiful. If you have not gotten a chance to check it out, it's improveusa.com. Just look at the pictures. So what you're going to see there is what's in Canada. So we're going to have something very similar here in the metro area. I looked through the book. It's beautiful. And I was like saying to myself, man, this is gorgeous. The fact that they're opening it up to the public to hold events there, that's great. I want to book it like right now. But thank you so much for sharing that with us because we do a lot of events here in the metro Atlanta area, a lot of events. And a lot of times it's hard to find a space that that you really like. And so just the sheer fact that that's going to be open to us as such for free. So that's great.
Yeah.
And all you got to pay is cleanup. I'll be talking about this forever now. Mike, listen, you have shared some great information with us. I'm really excited myself. I really want to have a studio inside Improve. So I'm sending it up to the universe. I want to have a studio, a media studio inside of Improve, because I just think it's going to be a great place to be. How can people who are interested in, getting a condo inside of Improve, how can they do that? Who do they contact? Do they contact you? And if so, please share that information with my listeners.
Yep, not a problem. Thank you, Audrey. You can contact me direct. There's not a problem. And you can go to our website as well. May I give the phone numbers, Audrey?
Oh, yeah, please do.
Okay. So our office number is 770-662-0000, and my direct number, you can call me anytime, is 470-396-0310, and feel free to call me anytime. We're here to help you. We're here to partner up with you, and we're here to grow our business together.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to explain it all to us. I'm sure I'm going to have you back again, because I can't wait to the grand opening, and I'm sure that we're going to be doing a lot of events that Improve. And so, it's a great project, and thank you so much for bringing it to the United States. And when you find out about Jersey, let me know so I can let my people know in Jersey.
Absolutely.
And if I don't talk to you again before the holidays, safe travels and happy holidays, and thank you so much. And I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you so much, and again, Happy New Year and a Merry Christmas to everybody, and I look forward to an exciting 2019 and bringing Improve USA to Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, well, welcome to the Peach State.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Listen, everybody, that's our show for today. My great guest, Michael Fischer from Improve. We're glad to have him here. Come back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow 11 a.m. because 11 a.m. is my day on Thursday with more great information on Good Morning Gwinnett, sharing great stories about people and places around the great county of Gwinnett. Southern living at its best. If you missed an episode, be sure to go over to goodmorninggwinnett.com and listen at the past episodes. And if you got questions, leave me a comment there or just shoot me an email, audrey@goodmorninggwinnett.com. So until next time, make it a great day.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in daily at 9 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you miss an episode, go to www.goodmorninggwinnett.com to catch up. If you like this episode, go ahead and subscribe to the show now and share it with your friends.